Hey, what's up guys? How are you doing today? If you're new here, my name's Tobias and welcome to my YouTube channel. As you can see, my nose is a bright red. I have like a huge pimple right now. It's gonna take a couple days to go back to normal, but I'm still out here putting my face on the internet. But anyways, what I'm going to show you guys today is how to propagate Java Fern. If you don't know what Java Fern is, it is an aquarium plant, or should I say a plant that's commonly used in aquariums, just like I have here, just throughout this all throughout my 15-gallon tank. And let me just take a step back for a minute, because if you saw my last fish video, you might be wondering what happened to the dojo loach that I had quarantining in this tank. And I actually have him back in my 20-gallon tank. Let me show you guys. If you look over here, he's right in here in this tank. He's doing good. But pretty much what happened, guys, is if you remember, I took him out of here because I had an ammonia spike in this tank because I treated the tank with some medication that killed all the bacteria. So I transferred him into my 15-gallon to complete his quarantine. And then sure enough, guys, this tank had an ammonia spike. Without going into too much detail, I think I know why. And pretty much I was going out of town and my sister was going to be taking care of my fish while I was gone. So I decided it would be best to transfer him back into the 20-gallon. For whatever reason, guys, my 20-gallon, the ammonia was back at 0, so it was safe to put him back in there. So yeah, let's get back to how to propagate Java Fern. And of course, guys, if you decide at any moment that you like this video or that this video helped you out, I would really appreciate it if you went down there and gave this video a like. I would appreciate that a lot. And also, if you would like to see more videos by me in the future, I strongly encourage you to go down there and hit that subscribe button and also hit that bell notifications button. Now let's get into it. So there's actually a couple ways to propagate Java Fern, and it's actually pretty simple. One of the ways that you can propagate Java Fern is pretty much by letting the Java Fern plant do all the work on its own. And I can kind of show you an example of what I'm talking about. If you look down here, if you look at this Java Fern leaf right here, you can see that there's these little brown dots growing underneath it. This is the underside of the leaf. It's just kind of growing weird. I don't know how that happened, but it's kind of just growing sideways on the bottom of the tank. But those brown dots, those are Java Fern spores. And those will actually start growing little roots and little leaves, and it'll form its own little Java Fern plant. And this happens all the time in my tank. A lot of the time, I don't really even do anything about it. I just kind of leave it be. And that's how you kind of end up with Java Fern plants like this that are just hanging up in the air. And if you look back here attached to my filter intake, there's a really tiny one back there. And actually, if you look on the left side of the tank, you'll notice that this Java Fern, it actually looks a little different, and that is crested Java Fern. And if you look at the top of these leaves right here, you can actually see that right there and right here, those are brand new Java Fern plants growing out of the tops of those leaves. And if you wanted to, you could even take them off and you could attach them to driftwood or a rock or something, and you'll have an entirely new Java Fern plant. Some people even propagate Java Fern and have them grow immersed, meaning outside of the water. And I mean, you can do that if you want. I've personally never done that, but that is also possible as well. But the second way of propagating Java Fern that I actually want to demonstrate for you guys today is by cutting the rhizome and separating the plant into 2 or more plants. If you've never heard of the term rhizome before, it's something that certain plants have, and basically it kind of looks like, if you look right there, we can kind of see it right there. And it's basically this thick part of the plant where the leaves come out of and also the roots come out of. And it almost kind of looks like a thick root. And that's called the rhizome. If you look right there, this would be the rhizome right here of that Java Fern plant. So what I want to do today is I actually want to take that Java Fern plant that's kind of just hanging there in space. I want to take that one out and I want to cut the rhizome and make maybe 2 or 3 plants out of it. And once you do that, each of those plants will grow on their own. And when I separate the rhizome into 2 or more pieces, I'll then attach each plant to a rock using thread. You can also do this by using super glue. Just make sure that it is fish safe. I just don't have super glue right now, so I'm going to use thread and just tie it to rocks, which is also perfectly fine. That's actually how I attached the majority of these plants. And you can actually also do this with Anubias. I have an Anubias plant right there. They also grow from a rhizome. And actually even water lilies, they grow, some people call them tubers, but it is kind of like a tube kind of rhizome type thing. And if you separate that, you can make several water lily plants as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so check this out. So this little guy right here, this is just a little Java Fern that grew off the leaf of a larger Java Fern. And it kind of just came out when I pulled this one out. So I might go ahead and just attach that to a rock as well. But if you guys look here, just check out this rhizome. It's actually quite long. It kind of goes from here, and then it goes all the way over here and kind of curls around. So that's it right there. If you just cut that right there, you can make, I mean, I could probably make like 3 plants out of this. I think I'm only going to do 2 though. Alright guys, so since I just spent all that time in front of my 15-gallon tank showing those Java Ferns, I figured I'd just finish recording the video up here at the pool pond and continue talking about them up here. But check it out guys, I've had these plants, this is some water hyacinth and some water lettuce. I've had them for probably about 2 weeks now, and look how much they've grown just in that time. If you guys saw the video where I got these plants, the water lettuce literally had no roots, and check out the roots now. The roots all grew back. Incredible. It's incredible how fast these grow. And as for the water hyacinth, if you look over here, this one is the larger plant, and it's already splitting off another plant. Like this right here will become its own plant. And this happened incredibly fast. Like it looks like that one might split off, you know, probably give it a bit more time, but eventually that'll split off into another one as well. And I went ahead and took the net off the pond. These guys are ready to eat. They're all, this is usually the time of the day when I feed them, around 4:30 in the afternoon. So yeah, let's go ahead and feed these guys. So I would actually like to try to add some Java Fern out here in the pond just to see how it does. Like some people do it and I see that it works out pretty well. I think Vertigo 117, I think that he has some in his pond, and from what I remember, I think it looks pretty cool. By the way, you guys should check out his channel if you haven't yet. He has a really cool pond with a lot of plants. And the other thing guys, if you're thinking about getting into aquarium plants like Java Fern is a really good one for beginners. I remember when I bought it, like probably like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I thought I was gonna have to get like grow lights. I thought I was gonna have to get like a CO2 system and all that stuff. But I ended up just buying the plants, planting them in my tank, and then waiting to see what would happen. And they did totally fine without any of that stuff. However, if you guys have seen those pictures online of like Java Fern where it's like a really robust like plant with like a lot of leaves and everything, those ones, you know, they're probably using like fertilizers, they're probably like using lights, they're probably using a CO2 system. And like to get a plant like that, yeah, you'll probably need all that stuff. But like if you want it just like how I have in my tank, you know, the only light it gets is like sunlight, and I really don't do anything to like take care of it, you can expect results similar to mine. So anyways guys, I hope this video helped you out with propagating Java Fern. It's a super easy plant to take care of, it's super easy to propagate. All the Java Fern that I have have in my tank down there, I bought them inside these tubes that they sell in Petco. You could probably even find them online. And if you wanted to, you could just get one of those tubes, I think they're around $6, and just keep propagating the same plant over and over until you have a full tank of them. And it's like a really inexpensive way of doing it. So anyways guys, if you guys like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you went down there and gave this video a like. That would help me out so much. And if you'd like to see more videos by me in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell notifications button. And I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Peace!